Hey y'all, I'm Christina Jane, a travel lifestyle blogger, and in this video, I'll be sharing 10 ways that I've made money to travel. So my travel journey actually started as a budget one. When I started traveling, I was an undergraduate college student. I studied abroad my freshman year of college when I went to Ghana back in 2019, and then my sophomore year, I took my first solo trip ever to Bali and Thailand. Let's just say that after I got bit by the travel bug, I definitely had to start getting creative with the ways that I was going to make money to be able to travel more, especially as a student. Just a quick disclaimer before we continue this video. This is me sharing some things that I did to be able to travel. I personally have never been too proud to make $1, so some of the things in this video may or may not resonate with you. So as always, I encourage you to take what's for you and leave behind what is not or won't work. And of course, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more travel content. Okay, so number one on my list of ways that I've made money to be able to travel is by participating in market research studies. So market research studies are ways that organizations collect information about the patterns and trends of everyday consumers like you and I. These studies are usually done by interviewing and studying individuals. So with market research studies, there will be certain requirements and demographics that these organizations will be looking for, and they'll usually put out a call out and advertise on platforms like Facebook or other social media websites or their own websites, where they kind of list what type of study they're looking to conduct, what type of people they're looking to interview, whether it's like a certain age range they're looking for, people of particular racial backgrounds based on different income levels, things like that. So basically the demographic they're looking for and how much they're willing to pay or what their budget is. Most of the market research studies I've done have been online, where I'll sit on like a Google Meet with a researcher and they'll ask me a bunch of questions about different products or show me something, and then I get to tell them what I think about it. And then after, I was usually sent a check in the mail or a gift card where I could cash that money out. Although most of the ones I've done have been online, I did once do a 3-hour in-person study in Florida where I earned $300 just sitting there with a bunch of other people as they told us about a product, and we just all like went in a round table and gave our thoughts about it. It was super easy. I got free lunch out of it, and I was $300 richer for my next trip. Like I mentioned before, most companies will pay you in the form of a gift card or even PayPal, and then you can easily just cash that money out and use that for travel on your next trip, transportation, food, or whatever you might need it for. A few websites that I've personally used in the past to find market research studies are Smith Research, Google User Research, Focus Group Connection, and American Consumer Opinion. Another great tip that I have for market research is if you live in an area with different universities and colleges, do some research and see what different departments have research sections within the college, and oftentimes they will also have research studies that the students will be conducting and will need participants for. The second way that I've made money is by freelance writing for brands and publications. So for those of you that don't know, I do have a background in travel writing, and I've written for a few publications like Lonely Planet, Business Insider, Time Out, Matador Network, and a few others. So I've been able to use my writing to get paid. Brands and publications are always looking for fresh voices to feature on their sites and often use that as a way to have content for their own platform. The great thing about freelance writing, in my opinion, is that it's something that anyone can get into. There's no really formal training for it. You can take courses and things like that, but if you have ideas and thoughts and a perspective to offer, you can freelance write. I would recommend determining what industries you're knowledgeable about. So for example, for me, it would be travel. If you're a nurse, you can write about nursing. If you're into the mental health field, if you're a mom, maybe you want to look at parenting blogs and things like that. But just think about the different areas in your life, the hobbies that you have, and then try to look for publications that talk about that topic or those things. Once you go on a website or a publication and you scroll all the way down, they'll usually have like a Write For Us page or a Contact Us page where you can learn more about how to become a contributor. You'll usually find the editor or an email for that organization or that brand, and then you can reach out and kind of pitch your writing idea and inquire about payment if it doesn't already tell you more details about payment on those sites. But yeah, freelance writing is something that has been very good for me. It doesn't always pay a ton, but I mean, if we're talking about saving money for travel, you can get about $200 to $300, even more sometimes per article, so not bad. If you're super interested, I do have a blog post about freelance writing and how to get started with step-by-step guidelines and basically everything you need to know, and I have a sample of a pitch that you can basically duplicate and copy and tailor to your own liking to hopefully get published. Number 3, apply for travel scholarships and giveaways. So many people still don't know that scholarships are not just for academic reasons, it's not just for tuition or different fees when it comes to school, but people will pay you to go travel. I would recommend always applying for every travel scholarship or program that you see out there. And just to be clear, this is not like the sweepstakes giveaways. I do still apply for those from time to time, but there are like formal travel scholarships that will host you on a trip and you just have to apply and kind of be on the lookout for them. There are a few travel creators in the space who do post opportunities often. One is Pax Light. She's very known for posting travel scholarships and she's won a few, and her brand really focuses around that. So I would highly recommend seeking out her website where she has like a complete dashboard with all of those opportunities. Jen Ruiz is another creator that I follow who sends out a newsletter with opportunities from time to time. So those are two good resources. I used to have a newsletter where I would send out opportunities every Sunday that I've had to stop, but I'm thinking about picking it back up again. So subscribe to my newsletter in the link below just in case I get back on that. Number 4, consider delivering food. If you have a car or a motorcycle or any form of transportation that you think can take you from point A to B pretty efficiently, I would consider becoming a food delivery driver for local businesses or even like a delivery platform or app in your area. For me, living in the US, that was DoorDash and Uber Eats. When I was in college, again, I was making about $500 per week delivering food, and I absolutely loved it. I actually ended up quitting my part-time job at the time just to do that, and it was amazing. I didn't really enjoy being confined to a certain space with having like a part-time job, and being a delivery driver for DoorDash, that was my main platform, allowed me to set my own schedule. You get to work whenever you want. You can turn on that app and then start getting orders. And it also ended up allowing me to make way more money than I would have in that part-time role because that was set money, where DoorDash, I could earn more and I earned tips. The only thing that I would say with food delivery, at least in the US, is that you still have to pay taxes, so just be careful. You're considered an independent contractor, so you'll want to set some taxes aside, whether you do it for like every paycheck on your own so that you're not stuck with a big tax bill at the end. So again, back in my college days where I learned how to hustle, I was literally at this fair with a friend back in undergrad, and there was this booth with this lady from our local plasma donation center who was telling us how we could get paid to donate our plasma. So we went and we got that done, and to get started, you go to the facility and your first appointment will take a bit longer, but they'll basically do a bunch of tests, check your vitals, and make sure that you are okay to start donating. There are certain requirements that vary from centers to center, so you'll want to go online and just check like local plasma donation centers near you and see. It's usually a weight requirement and a few others. Like I know you can't have any fresh piercings within a certain amount of time, so you'll want to check that out. But that was something that I did. I earned about $200 to $300 a week doing that, and your first few times donating, you do get more money and then it kind of levels out. But that was another way that I made some coin while trying to travel. Number 6, sell your items online. Selling the things that you no longer need or use around your house could be a great way to also earn some money. I've signed up for platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Mercury, Poshmark, and then I would list my items for sale. The things that I usually sell are like things that are still in great condition but that I just don't use anymore. So I've sold my old Kindle, cheerleading pom-poms, old books that I have, shoes. I personally usually try to stay away from selling clothing. That's just a personal preference, but if you want and you have good clothes, you can sell that too. Those are very popular on sites, but just like see what you have around your house that you don't use and consider selling it. My tip for selling your items efficiently is to be sure to take nice pictures of your item, be as descriptive as possible, and then I find that whenever I mention why I'm selling the item, it usually does better. So just so no one thinks anything of it, like especially in electronics electronic item, I'll be like, I'm selling because I only needed it one time and I have no use for it. I got 2 in the mail. I usually just say the reason why I'm selling, and I find that that helps. That way your items have a new home and you get to declutter and earn some money for your next flight. Number 7, manage the social media pages of different businesses in your area. If you enjoy aesthetic layouts on Instagram or just watching things come together and have an eye for marketing in a way, I would consider getting into social media management. We are in a time where businesses are starting to understand that their online presence does matter, and having a page online can literally make or break your business or make a huge difference in customers and sales. The problem is that not every business owner has time to manage their account or make sure they're always posting, responding to comments, inquiries in their DMs. And that's where you can come in and fill that gap. You can pitch to different businesses in your areas, maybe even some that already have accounts and that you see are kind of not the best quality when it comes to their images. They're not consistent, and just pitch your services. You will have to set your own rates and kind of establish yourself, whether it's getting on Canva and putting together like a price list of your services, figure out what types of things you want to offer, how you're going to pitch yourself, but make sure that you're being professional. You've set something up that you can easily send to different brands, make yourself look good, and eventually land some clients. Number 8 is becoming a virtual assistant. Being a virtual assistant is something that I also did heavily for about 3 years, and it allowed me to travel so much, especially toward the beginning of my travel journey. A virtual assistant is someone who provides online support to a business owner for their brand, and all of their tasks are online. So some of the different tasks that I would offer are email management, social media management was included in that, data entry, caption writing, things like that. But I had a list of services that I offered, and then also depending on what business owners would need me to do for them, if they found my page and they would tell me like what their needs are, and if I could fill those needs, then I would take those tasks on as well. Basically, you're setting up your own virtual assisting business. So this is not a easy get money quick type of thing, because there is kind of a learning curve with learning how to again market yourself, set up your business so that it's something official that brands and business owners see. I actually still have my Instagram page up from when I was heavy in my virtual assisting days on Instagram. It was at your personal VA. I really loved it, and it did so well, honestly. I got clients immediately once I launched my business, and it was just such a great thing. Virtual assisting can be done from anywhere, so I was never tied down to one place. I could take longer trips if I wanted to, and it was just incredibly flexible. And I also got to set my own prices for my rates. If you are interested in becoming a virtual assistant, I also did end up writing an ebook where I step-by-step list out how you can become a VA, everything you need to know about setting your prices, how to market yourself, pitching, the different services you can offer, explaining and breaking down what a VA is. So be sure to check that out as well on my blog, beingchristinajane.com, in the shopping page. Number 9, take surveys online. Plenty of survey websites will pay you to just sit there and take different services on different things. Again, this goes back to that market research and businesses and organizations wanting to study trends and patterns in consumers. So taking surveys is something that you can do during your free time while you're watching TV. Now, I will say that it does not pay that well. You might get 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 for a survey here and there. And it does add up very slow, but I mean, it is still money at the end of the day. Most sites will again pay you using PayPal or a gift card, so you can select the option that you want. You can research different survey sites available, but one that I remember using that was really good and I actually got money from is called QMe. Number 10, offer consulting sessions for areas that you have expertise in. Make a list of all of the different topics that you are knowledgeable about, that people are always asking you questions about, that you find you're always talking about and just having to explain to people, and then consider offering one-on-one sessions about those topics or things. You'll want to advertise these sessions on social media, continue just talking about the topic, reminding people that this is something that you do and offer, and eventually you might be booked just for sharing your expertise on a matter. And you don't even have to make it a specific topic, but also think about different unique life experiences that you may have had, A lot of people study abroad, but I'm just going to use it as an example. Like maybe you have studied abroad and people are really interested in that. You know, that's something you can talk about. But like think about different life experiences that you may have had. Maybe you've brought in property abroad or different things that you may have done. People want to hear about it, so consider offering services about those things. I offer one-on-one sessions about anything people want to talk about. Like if it's something that they're interested in me doing, I usually leave it open as like a Q&A session, but then I also list out different experiences that I've had working and living abroad, studying abroad and getting my master's in Ghana, running a virtual assistant business and how that helped me be able to travel. So just different things that I've done that people are interested in, they can book a one-on-one session for me, and then I usually put that money directly in my travel account. All right, so those were 10 ways that I have made money to travel the world at some point in my life. I hope that it inspired you to get creative and start thinking of some different ways that you can also make money to be able to see more of the world. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more travel content and videos like this, and let me know in the comments below what you would do out of the 10 things I mentioned, what's an absolute no, and I will see you guys in the next video.